Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, deliver us from the wicked one.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Thine is, oh yeah, the kingdom and the power and the glory, oh yeah, forever. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, on earth, on earth, on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, on earth, on earth, on earth, on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, on earth, on earth.
All right, all praises once again to the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua, Hamashiach. You are live and direct once again with your Akazaki Yahu, and I am joined by my most esteemed Akenanaya. Shabbat Shalom, my king.
Shabbat Shalom, my king. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharal. Kwam Yasharala.
Hallelujah. Rise, Israel. Rise, yes, indeed. It is another Sabbath Yom, and we are back again with another scripture reading. Praises to the Abba for the opportunity to come back and get into this word once again. We are in the book of Bemid Bar, or Numbers, chapter number 15, to the 12 tribes who are scattered to the four quarters. Peace and blessings. Shalom wa baruchim. And I cannot wait for the Most High to bring us back together and put things well in order once again. We're going to jump to the reading here and get busy, as it's sun about to set on us here. But it's all good. We got time to get through this. So the laws for Canaan. All right. Again, this is the book of Numbers, or Bemid Bar, chapter 15, starting with verse number 1. It says, "And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you come into the land of your habitations, which I give you, and will make an offering by fire unto Yahuwah, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in performing a vow, or in a free will offering, or in your solemn feast, to make a sweet savor unto Yahuwah of the herd or of the flock. Then shall that offering be offered unto Yahuwah, bring a meat offering of a tenth deal of flour mingled with a fourth part of a hin of oil, and the fourth part of a hin of wine for a drink offering shall you prepare for the burnt offering or sacrifice for one lamb. Verse 6. Or for a ram you shall prepare for a meat offering 2/10 deals of flour mingled with the third part of a hin of oil. And for a drink offering you shall offer the third part of a hin of wine for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And then you shall prepare Salaki, and when you shall prepare the bullock for a burnt offering or for a sacrifice in performing a vow or peace offering unto Yahuwah, then you shall bring the bullock a meat offering of 3/10 deals of flour mingled with half of an hin of oil. And there you shall bring for a drink offering half a hin of wine for an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto Yahuwah your power, or unto Yahuwah. Verse 11. Thus shall be done for one bullock, or for one ram, or for a lamb, or for a kid. According to the number that you shall prepare, so shall you do to every one according to their number. All that are born in the country shall do these things after the manner of offering an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. The law of the sojourner, verse 14. And if a and if a stranger sojourn with you, or whomever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah, as you do, so he shall do. So what we do, you gonna do. Verse 15. One ordinance shall be for both you of the congregation, and also of the stranger that sojourn with you, an ordinance forever in your generations. As you are, so shall the stranger be before Yahuwah. One law and one manner shall be for you and for the stranger that sojourn with you. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you come into the land whither I bring you, and it shall be that when you eat the bread of the land, you shall offer up a heave offering unto Yahuwah. You shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for a heave offering, as you have done, Slaki, as you as you do the heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you heave it. Of the first of your dough, you shall give unto Yahuwah an heave offering in your generations. And if you have erred and not observed all these commandments which Yahuwah has spoken unto Moshe, even all that Yahuwah have commanded you by the hands of Moshe, from the day of Yahuwah's commanding Moshe, and from henceforth among your generations, then it shall be, if aught you command Slakia, if aught be committed in ignorance without the knowledge of the congregation, that the congregation shall offer one bullock for a burnt offering for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah with the meat offering, and the drink offering according to the manner of one kid of the goats for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, if it is ignorance. And they shall bring their offering, a sacrifice made by fire unto Yahuwah for their sin offering before Yahuwah, for their ignorance. Verse 26, and it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger that sojourn among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance. Verse 27, and if any soul through ignorance, and he shall bring a she goat of the first year for a sin offering. Oh, I messed that up. Salakia. Verse 27. And if any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she goat of the first year for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly. And when he sinned by ignorance before Yahuwah, to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. You shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourn among them. But the soul that doeth art presumptuously, so you that do that sin and just don't really care, when he is born in the land or a stranger, the same reproach Yahuwah, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. So if you a stranger who came from a far land, or maybe your folks went to a different place and you were born there and they talked about Israel, and you come back and you show up and now you want to be with the people, and you in the land and you sin presumptuously, you do some stuff you don't have no business, and now you done did it, and you didn't really care about the Torah. Now you cut off from the people. Same thing it would be if you was born in the land and you knew all this all along. The same situation is going to apply to both of you. There's no, well, he wasn't around the whole time. Nope, not going to be the case. You're not going to get off because you wasn't around when you sin presumptuously. I don't really care. That was the situation then. Now we know through the Messiah, now we have a way back that puts us in a better situation than they had at this time. So at this time, you be cut off, and when you cut off, you cut off. So
And here's the thing,
yeah,
this sounds like the cut off part sounds like a judgment,
yeah,
and the judgments are, I can read in different places where the judgments are coming back.
mm-hmm. Indeed, Akeem. Indeed. Now, when I know during this time, during this dispensation, we have that grace, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not for abuse. So I wouldn't advise anybody to just sin willfully. We know in Hebrews, he said, he that sinned willfully, uh, there's no more sacrifice for sin. So, be cognizant of that, and don't be just giving in. Sometimes things, it gets tough, but you gotta do your best to walk out these commandments and do it well, and not just give over to the desires of the flesh or whatever the case that causes you to sin. So, hallelujah. Uh,
Hallelujah.
let's continue. Indeed, verse 31. Because he have desired, because he have despised the word of Yahuwah and have broken his commandments, that soul shall be utterly cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. So yeah, that punishment is severe, and he's saying that's it, cutting you off. That's you done. All right, Sabbath breaking punished. Book of Numbers is one of our favorites here. Chapter 15, verse 32. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath yom. And they found him, and they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moshe and Aharon and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward, because it was not declared what should be done unto him. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, the man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones. And he died as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the border a ribbon of blue. And it shall be for you a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember the commandments of Yahuwah, and do them, that you may not, that you may, that you seek not after your own heart's lust and your own eyes, after which you used to go a whoring. So when you go off and start committing sins against the Most High, He calls that whoredom. As you using these things to go a whoring, He calling that whoredom. That's because you serving another besides Him. That's why. That's what makes you that. So, verse 40, that you may remember to do all the commandments and to be set apart unto your power. I am Yahuwah, your power, which brought you out of the land of Mizraim to be your power. I am Yahuwah, your power. And no greater power could any nation of people ask for than to have Yahuwah as our power. He is so magnificent. And
That's right.
man, I want nothing but to please him. That's the only thing. It's my mission in life is to please Yahuwah. Please the power of my fathers. Hallelujah. All right, let's continue. Chapter 16, the book of Bemid Bar, chapter 16 and verse 1. Korah's rebellion. All right, it's about to get dicey up in this mug. Now, Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Korath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of uh, Peleth, the son of Ruban, took men, and they rose up before Moshe with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aharon, and said unto them, you take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation is set apart, every one of them, and Yahuwah is among them. Wherefore, then lift you up yourself above the congregation of Yahuwah. Like, are you out of your mind? What is the thinking here? Like, what is the logical thinking? This is the same. This is Moshe. This is the same brother who went up to the mountain and came down, and his face was so shining that you were afraid of him, and he had to put a veil on his face because you were so afraid. Now you challenging this brother? This is this is again, this is an illustration to show us how our people can just really just go off and think nothing of it. Just be content with going off. So let's continue here. Verse 4. And when Moshe heard it, he fell upon his face, like y'all about to get yourselves killed. Verse 5. And he spake unto Korah and to all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahuwah will show who are his and who is set apart. And he will cause him to come near unto him, even him who he hath chosen, and he caused to come, Slakia, will he cause to come near him to him. Come near to him is what I'm trying to say. Slacky, I'm messing this up. But yeah, he's telling them, Yahuwah gonna show you who's his. Wait till tomorrow. Verse 6. This do, take your censer, core, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense of them before Yahuwah tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahuwah do choose, he shall be set apart. You take too much on you, you sons of Levi. Now they all Levi. Moshe Levi, he's Levi, and yet I really don't understand the thinking here.
They're first cousins, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's literally crazy because what provoked this insurrection? You know, what would make you think I'm gonna go up to the man of the Most High? You know, let me put this in perspective here. You know, you may not agree. We may not agree with some of the elder brothers, but yet, if the Most High used one of the brothers that you may not agree with, and he take this brother and guide us into the wilderness, and we know that this is part of the situation, and we see that the Most High is dealing with him as he's guiding us through. The last thing that Zakiyahu is going to do is go up to the elder, to the brother, and say, "Man, you're doing too much. Who is with
Right.
all of us? You know, you're not better than us." That's the last thing on the earth I'm gonna do, even if I don't agree with the brother, even if I didn't agree with him in the past, whatever the situation. I'm not gonna do that because I already know this is not the power to play with. So it's not the power you're dealing with. It's not the man you're dealing with. You're dealing with his power. So let's continue. Verse 8. And Moshe said unto Korah, "Hear, I pray you, you son of Levi. Uh, seemeth, I think this is added, seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the power of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahuwah and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. And he have brought you near to him and all the brethren, the sons of Levi, with you to seek you the priesthood also." Like, oh, now you want to be the priest? He done put you in a good position, but that's not enough. Now you want to be the priest. Verse 11. For which cause both you and your company are gathered together against Yahuwah. And what is Aharon that you murmur against him? Like, right, you don't even understand. Verse 12, Salaki. And Moshe sent and called Dathan and Abiram, the sons of uh, Eli, 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 Eli,
Eliab.
Eliab is what I'm trying to say. Eliab. My goodness. I'm trying to break it in the L and then the IAB. Eliab. Okay, cut. Which said, we will not come up. This is a small thing that you have brought us up out of the land that floweth with. Let me read that again. It is a small thing that you have brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except that you make yourself greater than the princes, altogether a prince over us. He called the land of milk and honey Mizraim.
Well,
That's why I was like, am I reading this right?
yeah, we also have to remember that at one point there was a famine throughout all the land.
Yeah.
And Mizraim was the only place that had supplies. So that milk and honey, I really want to research like what that actually means, because I think it's like a metaphor, metaphorically used, like milk being something that is of substance, and then honey being a good commodity to have. So it's really a word just to say. It's a way of saying this place is able to provide and abundantly for us.
Yeah, look right here. Abundance of the land.
Wow, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's for the milk. Let's see what the honey is. See what the honey says. Uh,
That's like more than what you need. It's not
yeah,
necessary, but if you got some honey, you're doing good.
yeah. This just says honey. It doesn't give a metaphor for that. But that milk and honey, that abundance of the land, and then the honey just means you got some additional, something to make it sweet. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was ironic that he was saying that, because we just went over that. So continuing here, verse 14, like you said again, moreover, you have not brought us into the land which floweth with milk and honey, to give us inheritance of fields and vineyards, with you put out of your eyes of these men. We will not come up.
And now so it's not ironic that Korah is the one speaking right here. So Korah has no idea what he's talking about.
No.
Korah has no idea that he shouldn't be challenging Moshe, and he has no idea of what a land flowing with milk and honey, like, really, like, it sounds good. You know what I mean? So, but to him, Mizraim was that land.
Yeah.
Him and a lot of people were saying, man, we go back to Mizraim and eat the cucumbers,
Yeah.
the good of the land. So yeah, now it makes sense. I guess it was kind of, it would be eyebrow raising if the father called Mizraim the land of milk and honey.
Right. Yeah, and here's the crazy thing, we're gonna experience this. When it's time for us to get up out of here, they're gonna be like, man, America had everything, man. I was the
Right.
king. I was the king of Detroit. I was the king of St. Louis. Man, I had it good in Miami. And now y'all took us up out of here. What's wrong with you, man? We should have stayed where we was at, man. White man wasn't that bad.
And now it's gonna be some Israelites that say we were already in America.
Right. We already had it good. Man, I was making $150,000 a year, man. I had it going on, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh boy. Oh, continuing, verse 15. And Moshe was very wroth, and said unto Yahuwah, respect not their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moshe said unto Korah, Be you, uh, be you and all your company before Yahuwah, you and they, and Aharon tomorrow. Like tomorrow, sucker, is on. Especially verse 17. This is what it means when he said Moshe was wroth. Tomorrow, sucker, we're gonna find out.
Right.
You want to try to play me? You want to try to play big bad in front of everybody against me? After all the Most High have done for you, you're not playing against me. You playing against him. You want to disrespect him? He gonna show you what it is. It's on tomorrow, sucker. Verse 17. I love adding that sucker on there because I know that's how people be thinking.
Hey, God, sucker.
Yeah. Oh boy. And verse 17. And take every man his censer and put incense on them, and bring you before Yahuwah every man his censer, 250 censers. You also, and Aharon, each of you, his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moshe and Aharon. And Korah gathered the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of Yahuwah appeared unto the congregation. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe and to Aharon, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Mm. So did the rest of them not hear that? Like,
Right.
God, you should have been on your face. Like, but if I'm not mistaken, did he just get them to offer an offering out of place? Is that what I just read?
Let's where at what verse was that?
When they went to the tabernacle of the congregation with incense in their senses?
Okay. So it's almost like offering up the strange fire.
Yeah, like he basically, because this is where they supposed to be. Aaron supposed to be doing this, but
Uh-huh.
they come and doing it. Now Yahuwah's like, oh yeah, separate yourself. I'm about to take them out. So I kind of feel like, but hey, it wasn't, but not. It wasn't because he just wanted to do it. It was because they really believed that they had they were greater than they were, and that wasn't the order that the Most High had set forth. So if you think you're greater, then go ahead and you do the job. Now let's see what happened. Now Yahuwah ready to, what I'm saying, put it on them. Verse 22. And they fell on their faces and said, "O power, O Most High, uh, the power of the Spirit of all flesh, shall one man's sin be with you, uh, be wroth with all the congregation?" Like, don't deal with everybody like that. Just these idiots. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, speaking to the congregation, saying, get you up from the tabernacle of Kor, Dothan, and Abiram. And Moshe rose up and went unto Dothan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed with their sins. You know why this is seeming like we just read this? Because we did that we just did numbers on the AI channel.
Yeah, con.
I'm thinking, I feel like we just read this, but that's what it was. We went over it on that. So that's why
Mm-hmm. And that was that was the last one we did was Dibberine, wasn't
it was it Devery? Okay, yeah, it was Devery. I think I went back and watched that numbers.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
con.
I think that's what it is, and that's what, because I feel like we just did this, but yeah, that's what it was. It was in that. So that numbers was like an hour long, but Devarim he condensed it. So, um, but continue in verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Kor, Dothan, and Abiram on every side, and Dothan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of the tent with their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moshe said, hereby you shall know that Yahuwah has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die a common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahuwah have not sent me. But if Yahuwah do a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quickly into a pit, then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yahuwah. That, I'm gonna tell you, that is such a horrible way to die. There was a cat years ago. It's been not that long ago. Probably it's been about 10 years ago. But in Florida, a sinkhole opened up and swallowed him, and his brother was trying to get him out, and he could not get him out. He was gone. There was no body. There's nothing to bury. That dude is in the earth, and he is gone, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. It's a wrap for that cat. Uh, but yeah, his brother was trying to move the earth, trying to dig him out. Like you ain't digging that man out. He gone.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the first time that ever happened right here. So wow, that's some scary stuff because you can just be gone just like that. So verse 31, and it came to pass as he had made an end of speaking all these words that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their house and all the men that appertain unto Kor and all their goods. They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all of Israel were round about and fled at the crying of them. And they said, Least the earth swallow us up also. Because you don't know when that earth gonna open up again. That's like, whew, that's such a scary thing. Verse 35.
Uh,
And there came out a fire from Yahuwah and consumed the 250 that offered incense. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, son of Aharon, the priest, and take up the incense out of the burning, and scatter them, and scatter you the fire yonder, uh, for they are set apart, and the incense of their sin of these sinners, their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar. And they offered them before Yahuwah. Therefore they were hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the basin incense wherewith that they were burned, Slakia, wherewith they that burned were offered, and they made a broad plate for the covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aharon, come near and offer incense before Yahuwah, that he be not as Kor in his company, as Yahuwah said unto him by the hand of Moshe. So that's what it was. He got them to go in there and make an offering unto the Most High, and they were out of line, out of time for doing it. But
mm-hmm.
it wasn't that he made them do it; it was that they believed that they were equal to doing that. That's why he gave that proclamation here in verse 40. No stranger, which is not of the seed of Aharon. If you're not Aaron's seed, and you know it, better not go in there trying to make no offer no incense or no fire or nothing else, because you're gonna be that boy. Don't play.
I mean, it's almost reminds me of when they were moving the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah,
and somebody accidentally touched the ark,
yeah, yeah.
and the Most High smote him. You
Smoke.
know,
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that then because I believe that if he wouldn't have done that, then I think they all would have caught it because that one was sufficient. But if that thing would have hit the ground, that would have made it. That wouldn't have been all right either. How was they gonna get it up?
come
Then so yeah, I believe in that situation it just had to be one as opposed to all of them. So, but continuing here, uh, murmuring and plague. So we still haven't learned a lesson here. This is what we're learning here now. They continue to murmur, even though murmuring gets you a butt whooping. You continue to murmur. Verse 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron, saying, "You have killed the people of Yahuwah." Come on, man. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Continuing. And it came to pass. I'm laughing really to keep from crying because this is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Truthfully, this is ridiculous, honestly. Uh, and it came to pass when the congregation was gathered against Moshe and against Aaron that they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it. The glory of Yahuwah appeared, and Moshe and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, "Get you up from this congregation, that I might consume them as in a moment." And they fell on their faces. So once again, last week we read the same thing. He was ready to get rid of them. And Moshe intervened. And I said, "What Moshe, a great man, what would we have done without Moshe?" And here we
Right.
are again, reading the same thing. They fell on their faces. Verse 46. And Moshe said unto Aharon, "Take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put the incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, and make an atonement for them. For there is a wrath going out from Yahuwah, the plague is begun." And Aharon took as Moshe commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the death and the living. I'm slacking. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now, they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died in the matter of Korah. And Aaron returned unto Moshe unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. When are we going to learn this lesson? I pray that we learning something here. You know what I'm saying? We're not just reading this for the sake of reading it, but I pray we learning this lesson here. And whoever's listening to us here, I pray that you learning this lesson, because what will happen is you come against the Most High and who He has set forth, you're going to get mowed down. So don't even think about it, because I guarantee you, those ones that died, those 14,000, those were the problems in this era. They didn't just get killed for nothing. They got killed because they was definitely causing problems. Ain't no innocent blood when it comes to the Most High. The Most High know what He's doing. All right, continuing here. Numbers chapter 17, verse 1. Aaron, uh, Aaron's rod buds. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and take some, and take, Slakia, and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers, of all the princes according to the house of their fathers, 12 rods. Write you every man's name upon his rod. And you shall write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi. For one rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers, and there and they shall lay them upon the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet you. And it shall come to pass that the man's rod, whom I have chosen, shall blossom, and I will make to cease from me the murmuring of the children of Israel, whereby they murmured against you. And Slakia, and Moshe spake unto the children of Israel, And every one of the princes gave him a rod apiece, and each prince one according to the father's house, even 12 rods. The rod of Aharon was among these rods. So the rod of Aharon was actually the rod of Levi. Verse 7. And Moshe laid up the rod before Yahuwah in the tabernacle for witnesses. And it came to pass on the morrow, Moshe went unto the tabernacle of witnesses, and behold, the rod of Aharon for the house of Levi was budded, and behold, and brought forth the buds and bloomed blossoms and yielded almonds. Wow. So not only did it bud flowers, it also had fruits, almonds. That's amazing. Verse 9. And Aaron brought out the rod from before Yahuwah unto the children of Israel, and they looked, and every man his rod. They all looking at their rods like, where my buds at?
My
Right?
God.
You ain't got no buds. This is especially for Levi. Verse 10. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony to be kept for a token against the rebels. And you shall be quiet, and you shall quietly take away their murmuring from me, that they die not. And Moshe said, and Moshe did so as Yahuwah commanded him, so did he. And the children of Israel spake unto Moshe, saying, behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whoso cometh uh, anything near unto the tabernacle of Yahuwah shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? Yeah, if you mess up, because I ain't playing them games with y'all with us, man. Look, I'm trying not to put myself out of it. I ain't playing with them games with us. They get your mind right.
God.
All right, continuing verse chapter 18. It's the book of Bemid Bar, chapter 18 and verse 1. Duties of the Levites. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, Salakia. And Yahuwah said unto Aharon, you and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of the priesthood, and your brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your fathers, shall you with you shall bring you with you. So bring the Levites with you, that they may be joined unto you and minister unto you, but you and your sons with you shall minister before the tabernacle of witnesses, and they shall keep the charge and the charge of the tabernacle. Only they shall not come near to the vessel of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor you also die. So he's saying, don't let them do this, because not only will I kill them, I'll kill you too.
Man.
Hey, don't play with the armor, man. He not about that. He not about that. He not about that at all. Verse 4. And they shall be joined unto you and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and the strangers shall not come near unto you. And you shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And I, behold, have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel to you. They are given as a gift for Yahuwah to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore, you and your sons keep the priest's office for everything of the altar, and within the veil, and you shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that come near shall be put to death. So this is a different stranger, because if a stranger come near, this isn't that stranger that he was talking about in a couple of chapters ago. This is a different stranger, because this stranger not going to be cut off from among his people. He will put to death. All
Mm.
right, the priest portion. Yeah, all praises to the Abba. Verse 8. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe. I keep saying Moshe. My goodness, I'm so used to saying that. And Yahuwah spake unto Aharon, behold, I also have given you the charge of mine heave offering and all the hollow things of the children of Israel. Unto you have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to your sons by an ordinance forever. This shall be thine of the most set apart things reserved by fire, every oblation of theirs, every meat offering of theirs, every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall render unto me, shall be the most set apart from you and your sons. In the most set apart place shall you eat it, every male shall eat it, and it shall be set apart unto you. Verse 11. And this is thine, the heave offering of the gifts, with all the wave offering of the children of Israel. I have given them unto you, and to your sons, and to your daughters with you, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in the house shall eat of it. And all the best of the oil, and all the best wine, and all the wheat, the first fruits of them which are offered unto Yahuwah, them have I given you. And whatsoever the first ripe in the land which they bring unto Yahuwah shall be thine. Every one that is clean in your house shall eat of it. Everything denoted in Israel shall be thine. So man, that's a lot. So they get everything. So yeah, I can see where there's gonna be some little bit of jealousy. So now you got to bring the offering. Well, not now, but it's been decreed that you bring the offering, but the offering goes to Aaron because he's put into that position. So him and his house, and it even mentioned his daughters. So not only his sons get it, but also his daughters, as long as they clean. Everyone
Come.
clean in the house shall consume it. Verse 15. Everything that openeth the matrix and all flesh which belongs unto Yahuwah, whether it be man or beast, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shall be shall you surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shall you redeem. And those that are slack you, and those that are to be redeemed from the mouth uh, from a month old shall you redeem according to your estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekels of the sanctuary, which are 20 garants. Garant. Verse 17. And the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, you shall not redeem. They are set apart. You shall sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shall burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And the flesh of them shall be mine, shall be yours. as the way beast, and as the right shoulder of are thine. Verse 19. All that he slack you, all the heave offering of the set apart things which the children of Israel offer unto Yahuwah have I given you, and the son and your sons and daughters with you by a statute forever. It is a covenant of salt forever before Yahuwah unto you and your seed with you. And Yahuwah spake unto Aaron, you shall have no inheritance in the land, neither shall you have any part among them. I am your part and your inheritance among the children of Israel. And behold, I have given the children of Levi the tenth in Israel the inheritance for an inheritance to for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Neither must the children of Israel inherit slacking. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh to the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity, and it shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tenth, the tithe of the children of Israel, which they offer as an offering, as a heave offering unto Yahuwah, I have given to the Levites to inherit. Therefore, I have said unto them among uh, among the children of Israel that they shall have no inheritance. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when you have taken the children of Israel, the tithe which I have given you, you have given you from them as as your inheritance, then you shall offer up an heave offering of it for Yahuwah, even a tenth part of thine tithe. And this is your heave offering, which uh, this is your heave offering, shall be reckoned unto you as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. Thus you also shall offer a heave offering unto Yahuwah of all your tithes which you received of the children of Israel, and you shall give therefore thereof Yahuwah's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Out of your gifts you shall offer every heave offering for Yahuwah for the best thereof, even the hollow parts thereof out of it. Therefore you shall say unto them, when you have heaved your best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as a increase of the threshing floor, and as the incense of the winepress. And you shall eat it in every place, you and your household, for it is your reward for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. And you shall bear no sin by reason of it, when you have heaved from the best of it, neither shall you pollute the set apart things of the children of Israel, lest you die. All praises.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Let's see, verse chapter 19. This is the book of Bemid Bar, Numbers. chapter 19, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and unto Aharon, saying, This is the ordinance of the Torah which Yahweh hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, that they bring you a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came yoke. And ye shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp, and one shall slay her before his face. And Eleazar the priest shall take her of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times. And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin and her flesh, and her blood with her dung shall he burn. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the even. And he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them up without the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Yasharal for a water of separation. It is a purification for sin. So, these commands that the Most High is giving, for westernized ears, it's gonna seem strange.
Yeah.
But what we have to remember is that this is not a Western book,
Right.
or for Western people. This is Eastern thought. These are people from Northeast Africa.
Indeed.
Their culture was different.
Indeed. Good point.
But continue in verse 10. And he that gathereth the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. And it shall be unto the children of Yasharal and unto the stranger that sojourneth among them for a statute forever. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from Yasharal, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. This is the Torah when a man dieth in a tent. All that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days. And every open vessel which have no covering bond upon it is unclean. And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with the sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. For an unclean person they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and the running water shall be put thereto in a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that touched the bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon it the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. But the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he hath defiled the sanctuary of Yahweh. The water of separation have not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual statute unto them that he that sprinkleth the water upon separation shall wash his clothes, and he that toucheth the water of the separation shall be unclean until even. And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean, and the soul that toucheth it shall be unclean until even. So, it says perpetual in verse 21 right there, meaning forever, always. This is why we read in different books of the prophets where the Most High has the prophets prophesied that the Most High would cleanse us of our uncleanliness.
Right.
Because these things still go on and we're unaware of these things. So, we're walking around. I would say if we're not mindful, a lot of times we're walking around unclean.
Yeah, indeed, Aki. And here's the crazy thing. This is what I was thinking about while you was reading it. You think about the funeral of man today, and they bring him into the congregation, into not the congregation, but into the sanctuary, and put him at the front, and he lays there, and he's dead. And they come around, and the people come around, and some of the people touch him, touch the dead person, and yeah, right there in this sanctuary, with no knowledge of what's written here. They don't even understand that this thing is not to be done. Like you weren't clean. You weren't clean. Yeah, you got to go through a ceremony of being clean again. So, and you do this in a sanctuary. Thankfully, these sanctuaries that they're using are not the sanctuary of the Most High. They're the sanctuary of the idol that they have invented, because that idol is not gonna get mad, but the Most High would get angry, and he would be ready to consume people. So that's something to think about.
Con.
Yeah.
This is the book of Bemid Bar, Numbers chapter 20, the death of Miriam, verse 1. Then came the children of Yasharal, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people abode at Kadesh. And Miriam died there and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aharon. So, this is a stiff-necked people, a people that are slow to hear and slow to see and slow to understand and slow to realize, man, that the Most High will do away with us, man.
Right. Indeed.
Verse 3, and the people chose with Moshe and spake, saying, would the Most High that we had died with our brethren died before Yahweh? And why have you brought up the congregation of the Yahweh into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Mizraim to bring us into this evil place? It is no place of seed or of figs or of vines or of pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink. These people lack vision also, which, this is that first generation. It's not like they were being treated swell where they were at, but they had what do you call it? They had just thought that that's the way that life was, and they had the commodities, being able to gather all these things, pomegranates and vines and figs. You know what I mean? So they had become complacent in that captivity. Sounds similar, doesn't it?
Just like this, I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, yeah, I could go to Kroger, I could go to Walmart. I used to go to Walmart every Thursday, and used to take the advantage of all the sales. And I used to get $180 worth of groceries, and they helped me to my car. And then I get it home, and my neighbor little boy would come from across the street. They're gonna have all these stories. They're gonna have all these, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be this times 10. And because there's going to be so many more of our people there than this was. And you're going to have them constantly doing this thing. Every time it get a little hot, every time it get a little uncomfortable, they're gonna be complaining and reminiscing about how good they had it in all the lands where they were scattered, and now they bringing them out of that and into the wilderness, and all they're gonna do is complain. So it's definitely gonna be a repeat.
Indeed. Continuing, verse 6. And Moshe and Aharon went from the presence of the assembly into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of Yahweh appeared unto them. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Take the rod and gather you the assembly together, you and Aharon your brother, and speak you unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and you shall bring forth to them water out of the rock. So you shall give the congregation and their beasts drink. And Moshe took the rod from before Yahweh as he commanded him. And Moshe and Aharon gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? You know, stopping right there. What's that? I
said his demise.
Yeah, Khan, that's what's getting ready to happen. But in that verse, he says, in verse 10, he says, Hear now, ye rebels. So there were rebels back then, there's rebels now, and we hear in script in the prophets of what's to happen. The Most High is going to deal with the rebels in the wilderness like he dealt with them here, right?
Okay, no doubt.
Verse 11. And Moshe lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and Aharon, Because ye believe me not to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Yasharal, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. So, you know, just stopping right there, it seems like a small thing that Moshe did when he was speaking to the people, but that wasn't what the Most High told him to do.
No.
We have to be mindful of how we operate and not giving the Most High glory. We see right here that the Most High is not pleased with that, and this cost Moshe his trip to the promised land.
Indeed, Akeem. That's 1,000% accurate, and the lesson we got to learn from that is to remember to always put the Most High first.
Indeed,
Most High provided for you this thing, and here it is, and that's all he had to say. But instead, he said, "Must we fetch you drink from this rock?" and smote the rock twice, and that, like I said, that was his demise. So, man, if he
continuing verse. Salaki, you had something about?
Yeah, I was gonna say if he'd have known that would have happened, he would not have done that. But he didn't know that he was gonna get punished for it, and he did. So that's it.
All right, verse 13. This is the water of Bemid Bar, because the children of Yasharal strove with Yahweh, and he was sanctified in them. And Moshe sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith your brother Yasharal, you knoweth all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Mizraim, and we have dwelt in Mizraim a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us, and our fathers. And when we cried unto Yahweh, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Mizraim. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of your border. Let us pass, I pray you, through your country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed your borders. And Edom said unto him, You shall not pass by me, lest I come out against you with the sword. And the children of Yasharal said unto him, we will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of your water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, you shall not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus, so, this is a part of the reason. Well, we hear so much about Edom, and this is not our first time hearing about them, but we're seeing their acts that have them in the position of where they're at now in life. And what I mean when I say that, how the Most High views them, right? All right, verse 21. And thus Edom refused to give Yasharal passage through his border. Wherefore Yasharal turned away from him. And the children of Yasharal, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor, the death of Aharon. Verse 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and Aharon in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aharon shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Yasharal, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. So, it's not a good, I mean, don't get me wrong. Our people are blessed and fortunate to be up out of bondage.
Right.
But it's not the ideal trip and journey that they've had in mind. They've had different setbacks. They've had their own people, own cousins coming against them.
Right.
And now, they've just been refused by a people who are kin to them, to give safe passage, and they refused. And now the Most High is giving commandment for Aharon and Moshe to come up to the mount, right?
Okay.
All right, verse 25. Take Aharon and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aharon of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aharon shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moshe did as Yahweh commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moshe stripped Aharon of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aharon died there in the top of the mount. And Moshe and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aharon was dead, they mourned for Aharon 30 days, even all the house of Yasharal. All right.
Close it out.
All right, last chapter for the evening. This is the book of Bemid Bar, Numbers chapter 21. Arad conquered, verse 1. And when King Arad, the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Yasharal came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Yasharal and took some of them prisoners. And Yasharal vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said, if you will indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And Yahweh hearkened to the voice of Yasharal and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against the Most High and against Moshe. Wherefore have you brought us up out of Mizraim to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. So still haven't learned the lesson.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, the same thing over and over and over. It is ridiculous, honestly.
Okay. All right, verse 6. And Yahweh sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Yasharal died. Therefore the people came to Moshe and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against Yahweh and against you. Pray unto Yahweh that he take away the serpents from us. And Moshe prayed for the people. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, make you a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moshe made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Yasharal set forward and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and pitched at Barim in the wilderness, which is before Moab, toward the sun rising. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of Yahweh, what he did in the Red Sea and in the books of Arnon. You know, that'd be another interesting story to read, the books of Arnon, or the brooks of Arnon, the books of wars. Yeah. All right, verse 15. And at the stream of the brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and that lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer, that is the well whereof Yahweh spake unto Moshe, gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Yasharal sang this song, spring up, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes digged the well, the nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staffs. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab to the top of Pisgah, which looketh toward Yeshimon. Verse 21, 2 victories. And Yasharal sent messengers unto Shahan, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through your land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway until we pass your borders. So, you know, King Shahan of the Amorites, you know, I was getting ready to say that these are a related people, but they're not. I was confusing them with the Ammonites, but these are Amorites, which is our Canaanitish people, you know?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Verse 23, and Shahan would not suffer Yasharal to pass through his border, but Shahan gathered all his people together and went out against Yasharal in the wilderness. And he came to Yahaz and fought against Yasharal. And Yasharal smote him with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from Arnon unto Yabok, even unto the children of Ammon. For the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Yasharal took all these cities. And Yasharal dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon and in the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Shahan, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. Wherefore that they that speak in Proverbs say, come into Heshbon, let the city of Shahan be built and prepared. For there is a fire gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Shahan. It hath consumed Ar of Moab, and the masters of the high places of Arnon. Woe to you, Moab! You art undone, O people of this place, or this person. He hath given his sons that escaped, and his daughters into captivity unto Shahan, king of the Amorites. We have shot at them Heshbon is perished even until Debon, and we have laid them waste even unto Naphah, which reacheth into Medeba. Thus Yasharal dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and Moshe sent to spy out Yazer, and they took the villages thereof and drove out the Amorites that were there. Verse 33, and they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle of Idri. And the Yahweh said unto Moshe, fear him not, for I have delivered him into your hand, and all his people, and his land, and you shall do to him as you did unto Shahan, king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. So they smote him and his sons and all his people until there was none left him alive, and they possessed his land. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So the moral of the story, stop tempting the Most High with foolishness and start keeping his way and his word that he had given unto us to do so. Never step in opposition to the man of the Most High, because you're not stepping to that man, you're stepping to him. He is the one that put that man in position. And when you step to him, you're stepping to hit the actual power. And he will not take that lightly. That's what we could definitely learn from this. I'll yield there. Go ahead, Art.
Khan, we can draw so many parallels from what we read today to what we see today. It truly is amazing that we haven't gotten it right, and we've had thousands of years. We've had captivities to straighten out, and but the Most High, it's in His Word. He's still going to choose Jacob. He's still going to choose Yahshua. And some things have to change, for us to really be pleasing in His sight. There has to be a converting of the mind and spirit. I digress.
Hallelujah. All praises to the Abba. We are so thankful to be completed with another 7 chapters, and join us next week as we continue to read the text as well as review videos and just edify the name of the Most High and his people as well. Let's close out with the book, as we always do, with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important that we understand that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, all the dust is settled and all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged on whether we have feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole duty of man. I am your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Kenaniah, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel, who are scattered to the 4 quarters of the earth. I say shalom, wa baruchim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone. With our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Until that day come, shalom, family.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Pekah.
All praises to the Abba. Hallelujah.